There we go, and we are currently live with another episode of Legends of the Force tonight. Why don't y'all come and check us out? Hopefully, our story is good. It's definitely better than the Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. So, I mean, come on. Well, opinions may vary, which is perfectly fine.
You haven't seen the end of the story yet, so opinions are still out on this story.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet either, so I've just been watching Phantom Menace going nuts, and the ticket sales go bomb, and it's been sad. Anyways, let's turn to a Star Wars saga that is a little bit more successful. Yeah, we actually have a little bit more success. This is sad.
I don't think so. That seems inaccurate. Do we have like $1 billion? I don't think we got a couple $1 billion.
We have 1,000
At the very
on
minimum,
YouTube, so.
They convinced millions of people to pay for a ticket.
True.
Anyway, yeah, I wish we could get people to pay for tickets. That'd be nice. Alrighty. Let's do this. Once again.
With feeling this time. Anyways, we are the Legends of the Force crew. We're going to turn it on over to Kyler and let him go ahead and do some GM shenanigans and take us into the world of Star Wars. And that's where the music was supposed to start.
Star Wars, Legends of the Force, Episode 3, Chapter 35, Voids in the Force. Upon arrival to the mysterious planet, the party discovered that Ariel had been shot down as she attempted to follow her brother Aaron to the surface. Wounded and on the run from Sith troopers, Ariel used her impressive visual force powers to remain hidden long enough for the party to catch up to her. As the Sith troopers closed in, illusions of subterfuge had given the Liaxalims the advantage, but Theodore overeagerly decided to take matters into his own hands and attack. Jaraht attempted to use the Force to lift Ariel to safety when he was viciously attacked by 3 insectoid creatures that were invisible in the Force. Etan and Kalani managed to cut the creatures down with Theodore's assistance, but with a wounded Ariel, the party finds themselves on an alien world filled with voids in the Force.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got chewed up by that which I could not see.
I'm highly suspicious now. This is weird.
Why are you suspicious now?
Now he's suspicious? Like what do you mean now? Now you're suspicious. You're always.
I thought you were...
Does Dell know anything about these mysterious creatures?
Let him force chance. Get back to you.
Dell's not here, sir.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together last session. But
are we still in combat?
Sure now I did.
Have we concluded combat at the end of the last session? I thought we were right in the middle of combat still.
Yeah, we killed all 3 of the creatures, but there's still Sith.
Somewhere up on the cliffs, probably.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Can't we just leave them to the insectoid creatures and run away? It's
Well,
just
if they're
Sith.
bored.
It's not like we care about them.
Alright, so yeah, so
them though, because then we would have to fight bugs and the Sith at the same time.
So yeah, last you saw the Sith troopers were running up in this direction.
Away from us or toward us?
Well, they were. The last time you were paying attention to them, looked kind of like they were setting an ambush up for Theodore, who was running after them, but then he decided to turn around, so that didn't happen. That's the last you saw of them.
Not I! Whoa!
Did you change this map?
Nope.
Yeah, no, he's not changed
This
it.
is,
Each one of the...
this is exactly how we left it.
Yeah, each one of the
So,
insectoid things is dead. I can scoot.
I think I just forgot to mark that this one was dead. But it is dead.
I don't remember these little pink things from before.
What pink
These
things? Oh no, those were
they were there before.
Those were there.
They were there.
Because I saw them, and I asked Kylar, I'm like, hey, is this a thing? This looks suspicious. And he's like, you don't know. I'm like, thanks, that's helpful.
No, actually, I said you don't see them, is what I said.
Oh, yeah, you said you don't see them. That made me scared.
Okay, so what are you guys gonna do?
Wonder why Kalani moved over.
I'm going to try to lift part of the creature with move light object.
Okay, wait, what's currently going on right now?
So,
What's our situation?
We've just defeated the bugs.
They're Sith
Defeat the bugs.
to trap me where I'm not going.
Am I still limping across the river?
Yeah.
You're still above everybody. You never made it to everyone else. So you're limping in that general direction.
What about you, Barry? What kind of shape is your dude in?
Jaraht is doing. He's doing okay. He's doing good. Full health. You know,
Okay.
game
He's at full
mechanics-
health because Shiloh's ludicrous.
Shiloh was behind me. Shiloh had my back. Thank you very much for that. Granted, every time the creature hit me, my health went halfway down, halfway up, halfway down, halfway up.
Here's what I suggest. I suggest that you go grab Ariel and then withdraw back to the ship and disengage from these Sith guys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Unless anybody else has a better idea.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Really quiet, Theodore.
Where is she? You go get her and leave. Where is she?
I can't hear you well enough to make out what you're saying. You're very quiet.
Is it any better?
A little bit better.
Is that
I
any
have-
better?
That's better.
Yeah.
You're still a little bit quieter than everybody else, but now I can hear you. I have everybody turned all the way up
How
on
about that?
Discord. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, so the sound, the volume meter that determines what I hear from you guys determines what you hear from me.
Why?
That's weird.
Well, no, it's
So-
dumb.
That's really weird.
Also,
so are
you're
we
stuck
all
on chipmunk
really
voice.
loud for you?
I know I am.
It's loud! Oh my goodness! What do you
But I think this is the best I've ever understood the chipmunk voice.
Okay.
Yeah, the chipmunk
sounds
voice
really
is sounding
funny
pretty good
though.
right now. So just whatever you did, don't touch it.
I'm gonna try and turn you guys down rather than Discord down. Then, so if I can figure out how the heck to do that. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so what was Theodore saying?
I don't even remember.
Something about people were talking about withdrawing back to the ship, and then you said something, and we didn't hear what
I
you
thought he
said.
was asking where Ariel was.
Yeah, I agreed with that and asked where Ariel was.
He's a little bit to the north of you. He's walking your way.
Limping.
Oh, she is? I thought her leg
Well,
was broken.
I, the player, know where she is. Theodore is different. Is she visible?
You can. Actually, no. I
I
think you were
recall her
still.
not
Weren't you
being
still?
visible.
Weren't you still cloaked? Yeah, aren't you still invisible?
Yeah, she is.
me?
Yeah, you were still invisible by the end of the fight.
Right.
Yeah, because the Sith troopers will see you otherwards. Ariel, do you require help?
My leg's broken. What do you think?
I meant if you wanted me to try to. Anyways, all right.
I don't want to walk anymore. Why don't you come get me?
All right, so you walk over there to grab Ariel. Shiloh would be healing her, but he seems he seems more intent on studying bug creatures that attacked.
Well, it's only going to take me 2 seconds to figure this out, so...
Okay.
Ow!
2 seconds of metagaming to figure it out.
Ow! Ow!
No, I'm lifting up the creature with the force. Does it work or does it not work? It takes 2 seconds.
No, does not work.
Okay, thank you. Now I'll go heal Ariel.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
I would be carrying Ariel by the time that Shiloh even got over there.
Oh, so they're gonna shoot at you now.
Yeah, well, those knuckleheads are being silly. I want to look for the Sith mans. Where are they at?
Well, they were mostly cloaked, so you can try and use like a force perception to sense their. So that'll be probably the easier way to detect.
Do you say that out loud in character?
What?
I mean, do you say that out loud in character?
Me?
Does your character say that?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Yes, you. John.
No.
Sorry.
No, he's just looking for.
I was just saying it to Kyla.
Give me. Do you have force? You have force perception, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me a force perception roll then.
Yeah, and as soon as Jaraht got to Ariel, he would have picked her up, carried her.
All right, Etan. You can tell they've kind of run off the map to the north. They seem like they are still kind of moving kind of fast away from where you are at the moment.
But they're on foot.
Yeah, they're all on foot.
Excuse me, and they're off the map, so you can't ping their location for me.
Yeah, so they're north and moving more north.
Okay, then I want to say to the group that I think the rest of the Sith troopers have escaped to the north, and they're moving away from us to the north quickly.
Well, if they haven't spotted us, then we should get going.
I don't really see how they could have not spotted us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more in that maybe they're running away and they won't be worried about us at the moment.
I think it's
Okay, there's my trait injury roll for.
I think it's more they probably heard
How
or
many-
saw whatever we were fighting.
How many hit points?
I think they're probably more concerned with me.
A lot.
99.
99 health. That's what you get back. Yeah. All right. So as you're debating the merits of where the troopers are, Shiloh reaches over, feels through the force, and mends Ariel's leg and impact injuries from falling when Jaraht dropped her when he got attacked by the
I
creatures.
had no choice in that. Don't you make it sound like it's my fault. I had no choice in that.
I mean,
couple of
you
things
dropped her
going-
though. That's a factual statement. I didn't say you purposely dropped her.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel will remember this.
And you can't dispute that it's your fault. You can dispute whether it's intentional, but it's definitely your fault.
It's not his fault.
No, it's not my fault though because I couldn't see the creatures. That's the thing is I can't see these things. Jaraht is a Miraluka and these things are invisible to the Force, and he's like, something's hitting me and I can't do anything. Help!
I think we should go back to the ship and try to raise an antenna and see if we can intercept the intraplanetary communications to see if there's any reports of if the alarm has been raised to our presence are here.
Good idea.
Oh, they already
Anyone know Anyone know how to do that?
No, I don't.
There are probably people who know to do that back on the ship.
We can get back to the ship. That should be easy. From there we can figure out if we can get in touch with or can decode their communications array from there. But we need to get you out of here.
Regardless, it's going to be a bit of a trek back there, so if they're going to report in by the time we get back, we'll probably be able to find out.
There's that as well.
Then let's go.
Right. So you guys are fleeing back to Malefic's Grace.
Trying to, yeah.
I'm going to use the Force to see if I detect any space where I can't detect anything.
Look for the voids.
You should just ask us. Is there anything you don't see?
Well, the void is gonna come, like, the air also, like, you can't... You feel living things in the forest, so I'm not sure what you're hoping to accomplish with this.
I can detect the air. Everything is connected together with the Force.
Can I look, before we leave, can I like put my hand out and touch one of the creatures?
Yeah, you can do that.
Shialu, what part am I touching?
The shoulder of its front leg.
Oh, you're touching one of its shoulders.
This is so weird. Like, I can't see anything. It just looks like my hand is stopped in air. This must be what it's like when people see me invisible.
Yes, this is quite disconcerting.
Is it?
Oh, that's one way to put it.
At least these creatures don't stop the Force from working around them like the Liaxalim.
Force works through all living things. Does this mean this thing isn't living, or... I say as I keep poking it.
Well, the Liaxalim are alive. Hopefully they don't try to kill us, unlike these creatures.
Well, let's try not to meet any more of these things.
Yes.
Okay, intrigued by Ariel's question, I'm going to take a biosample from this insect so we can study it.
John's like, that's the straw that broke camel's back.
Like, no, we're bringing the alien thing back. Okay, so what exactly? So are you taking like a blood sample or like a tissue sample? Like what kind of sample are you taking?
Like a tissue sample.
Okay, you kind of gotta dig in a little bit because the outside armor is kind of tough, crunchy chitin. So you want to get like inside squishy tissue sample or chitin tissue or chitin sample?
Both.
Both. Okay, you take both. Okie dokie.
Yeah,
Takes a little bit to get
that'd
through
be useful if you ever had to fight, another of the people who sees only with the Force. Make a shield out of the chitin or something.
Alright, so you take
So
some
how do
tissue
they see
samples.
walls?
Speaking of which, can we see the wounds these things have, or can we see their innards after the shell has been broken?
Nope.
Okay, so
You still see nothing.
it's on a cellular level. Okay.
But it's past death. It's not something that they have to consciously do. It's just what they are. This is starting to freak me out a little bit.
And rocks.
Yes. I see everything you see.
But you can't see this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's weird. This is something different or wrong about this thing. Also, who are you?
Anyways, let us get back to the ship, and we will commence with introductions on our way there.
Alrighty, you can. All right, you're walking back. You can commence with introductions.
This is Theodore, the talking squirrel. He's a Solonian. Ariel.
The talking what?
That's cool.
My brother's attention humor. I'm Ariel.
It does not work all the time. I'm sorry.
He's not as good as I am.
My strengths lie more in being a brick to go through.
Yeah, haven't you? Haven't you noticed my brother's thing across his eyes? Like I got one too. We're blind, kind of. We can see everything through the Force, just not things that can't see through the Force, like that with these creatures.
We can see quite a bit.
That doesn't seem to explain much of anything.
Do you know what the Force
I
is?
also don't know how the Force works.
Okay, well, I can see more than you can. Let's just leave it at that, except for the one small things I can't. In this case, it was a rather big thing. But, I can see through walls. You can't. So.
It might have been useful to collect some of that titan.
I think Shialu grabbed some. At least that's what I think he was doing. I heard a lot of squishy parts being moved and cut, so I'm assuming.
Oh boy. Okay, so you guys make it back to the Malefic's Crypt. Can you all see this, or do I need to fix it?
Oh, it's a pretty picture.
That's a pretty good shot, yeah.
Alright, so remember you guys the ship landed kind of at the edge of the forest. So the trees on the edge are where you came from. The ship, I don't have the ship on here, but the ship is you're parked basically on the edge of the forest is where the Malefic's Grace is. So you guys make it back. No problem. No incidents. No other bug creatures attacking you. Nothing crazy happening.
I will also inform Ariel on the way there, informer of our ride, their pilot, and their passenger, aka the guard of the ship. So she knows about Dakaya now and Ramai and everything else.
Cool. Desperate times, I guess.
Alright. So you get back on board. Are you guys going to head up to the bridge, or what's your plan?
Where's the communication things done from?
The bridge, probably, on this guy.
Who here knows the most about computery radio talkie-talks?
Let me.
I can hide really well.
I'm afraid my skills and
That's
talents
the
do
eraser's job.
my skills and abilities do not cover computer sciences or communications. Let's just say I am more of a hammer than I am of a fine tool.
I'm just impossible to kill. That's all I do.
Kalani kind of pipes up. Well, Theodore, you hang around your boss. Has he taught you anything?
Yeah.
Wait, we went from a group that has
I
5 pilots
device.
to a group that has none?
Uh-huh.
Stick the device into the terminal, and it takes what he needs, and then I leave. Or kill people and leave.
Okay, then I'll try it.
Okay, let's just boil down skills. Who has the highest use computer skill of the group right now? I'm curious.
Oh, use computer. Let's see, where's my use computer?
Ariel has 10.
A plus 12.
Kalani has plus 12.
I have a plus 13.
I have like a 37.
How do you have a 37 on using the computer?
I don't know what's going on with my sheet. My sheet must be wrong.
No, that's when he's using the
sheet
plug-in
must be off.
things that the eraser has.
Okay.
That's not general use computer checks.
It's sounding like Etan has the highest score.
at a plus 13.
Etan, you know the most about computers.
Serenity, that's the only thing I can suggest.
Well, my stats are like pretty even across the board. I have a 15, a 19, a 16, a 16, and 18 and a 19. Like, I'm not like a specialized character, I guess.
I have a 22 to stealth. That's what I do.
Yeah, she sneaks. I hit things really hard, and I smash things really hard.
Is it a computer check anyway, or is it a technology check, or a mechanics check?
To intercept the signals would probably be a... so technology is knowledge about like how to do things. You could roll that to see if you get an advantage, but it's going to require you use computer check to actually do it.
Okay, so I roll. Whoa. I was holding push to talk my alt key while I was rolling my character sheet, and then it changed the magnification level. Okay, so I roll both technology knowledge first, and then if I get high enough, I can have an advantage on my other thing.
Yes. That's not bad.
An 8.
Well, you have
21 total.
A decent bonus. Yeah, 21 total. So you, as a Jedi Master who also has been doing some, monitoring of Sith stuff and gathering of intel, you're pretty familiar with like
missions before.
You're pretty familiar with like the way that Sith usually send communications and transmissions, and you have like worked with people you've seen people intercept transmissions before, and so you kind of know like what to be looking for in terms of that.
Which means I can have advantage on my computer roll.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'll give you advantage on the use computer check.
Also, don't forget you can use a destiny point if you need to. Destiny or a force point.
What is a destiny? I don't have any destiny points.
You can use a force point.
Okay, I will use a
destiny would force you in that 20.
Well, 20 is good. A force point probably wouldn't hurt. Oh,
yeah,
28.
Roll an 8 on the force point.
Yeah,
there you go.
All right, so he hacks. He goes up to the bridge.
Etan's our new hacker.
Ramai's looking like looks like he's messing with some sensor. Well, people who know ships, which is apparently nobody anymore. He's at a console doing a thing. You don't know what he's doing because none of you know shippy things, apparently.
Yeah.
Etan, you look up. You're like, all right.
It's kind of funny.
So yeah, Theodore, you pilot things, so you know he's kind of like at like the sensor, like scanny relay terminal stuff. So you think he's doing something with scanning stuff. Etan, you go over to communications. You type away while everyone else just kind of stands there awkwardly, or if they're doing something else, I don't know. So it takes you a while.
Well, Kalani will go. If Shiloh's looking at the stuff he acquired, Kalani will help him with that.
I'm going to say what I'm doing as I'm doing it too. I'm going to say I'm trying to intercept Sith communications to see what they know about our presence.
All right, so
I'm going to include the party in my activities and not just mind my own business and ignore everybody with like clickety clack.
All right, so as you start typing, then Ramai is going to turn to you. You're like, well, I've been trying to take a look with sensors to see what we're dealing with here on the planet. So far, I've only found one frigate parked up about 10 miles north of us. And
it's landed on the ground?
Yes. Yeah, it's landed on the ground. It's some sort of crater in the woods up there. And there are a couple smaller blips that may be Imperial walkers. So I'm trying to narrow that down. But this ship isn't exactly designed to pick up individual people, so that's probably about as close as I'm going to get to a detailed picture of what we got going on.
Maybe we can get a better picture together. And Ariel kind of looks around. there's a lot of force users here. Perhaps if we combined our efforts, we could get a visual picture of the area and sense how many life forms are nearby.
Yes.
That seems more like to our strengths.
Use the power of force together.
Force together?
Force together! I mean, that kind of leaves out Theodore. Sorry. But, you know.
Theodore's over there being like, but what about me? Alright, so Etan, you're trying to intercept. So you're trying to intercept communications, essentially, to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I just want to run up an antenna and see if there's any broadcast radio frequencies, or I don't know. I'm trying to reason the real world.
Yeah. So
the game world, so I don't know how radio stuff works in Star Wars.
Yeah. So it's going to be, so their data is encrypted, so it's going to be hard to figure out exactly what they're saying, but you honed in on kind of like the frequencies they're using, so you can kind of get a picture of like how many and kind of rough locations of where stuff is based on where the signals are stronger. So you got to figure out a little bit of landscaping. So each of them, as you're looking through, it seems like, so you first, like the closest thing you find, the strongest signals you get are, it looks like a little bit of comms chatter coming from probably that group of Sith troopers that you guys had encountered earlier. They seem like they're the closest that are talking to you. There seems like there's about like 10 other groups of people. You hear, like, you get some comms chatter from, it sounds like an operator going out to the squads, like communicating movements. That's what it seems to you, but you can't understand what they're saying because it's all encrypted. But you're just seeing these transmissions, and it's sort of has that pattern to you. And then from where Ramai has said that this ship is parked, you're getting some transmissions coming from that, going up into space to the fleet as well. So the operator also seems like it's coming from that ship.
Can I make a determination of bearings to the transmission sources? So that if we move the ship laterally, I could take another bearing and triangulate and do a bearing intersection of the transmission source.
Yeah, if you move to the ship, you could ping the location. You could also probably cobble together a couple of other sensors to put at different places, so you could constantly have a triangulation method if you wanted to do that. So you wouldn't have to move the ship all the time. You could take like mobile units and like you could like find some. It wouldn't be necessarily as strong of a reading, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I guess I'll try that. I don't want to cannibalize parts of the ship or anything, though.
No, but you've got some communicators, and you should be at, like, there's like a mechanics bay with like some spare parts and stuff. There's you could probably boost signals, and Ramai could actually help you with that. He's good at mechanic-y things.
Okay.
So you guys could put together some sensor packages to at least just pick up chatter.
All right, I'm going to record all that data that I can get about like the direction of where the sources of the transmissions are, and like save that in a computer file or whatever, and then I'm going to go off and build an ELTDF.
That acronym stands for
Electronic Locating Transmitter Direction Finder. It's not technically what this is, but it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it works. All right. So to triangulate, are you gonna make two of them, or you just need one more? I've been a while since I've done triangulation.
At least.
Yeah. So you'll have parts. You could probably build like 3 or 4 with the parts you've got on the ship.
Okay.
It will take a while, so to piece things together, like at least a couple hours or more, and then you gotta go.
Do we have time for that?
Well, nothing's really happening, So you're not getting any chatter that's really close to the ship, so it doesn't look like anybody's found the ship yet. So,
I mean,
and Shiloh, yeah. So I guess you just since you've come up with this plan, discuss with everybody else if you guys want to do that or not.
Okay, I just say to everybody, I'm not able to get any specific information or decipher any of the transmissions that they're making, but I can determine the sources of the transmissions, and I'm gonna go make a couple of position indicating radio beacon stations so that we can constantly monitor them as we're on the move.
Sounds good. Do you need help with that?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know anything about stuff, but I can carry things and I follow directions well.
Agreed.
I thought the place we needed to be was really far away from here.
What?
The facility that we needed to get into, I thought that was far away from here on the planet.
Well, we're just setting up, as I understand it, we're just setting up beacons to better listen to them. Not going anywhere too far.
The best I'm able to do is to use these devices to monitor the locations of where transmissions are coming from by intersecting their bearings.
Well, my question is, what use is that to listen to the people over here on this part of the planet when we need to be on another part of the planet?
Who said anything about one part or another part of the planet?
I wouldn't expect that those things have infinite range, do they?
Well, my GM didn't say anything about that, so this is new stuff now.
Well, they're not gonna reach to the other side of the planet, but they have pretty good range. And Ramai's gonna chime in. He's like, no, I think. Well, I can't find any facilities. The only thing I've found is that ship, and that's pretty close. So if we set these up around here, we should be good.
At the very least, I am good at hiding things, so I can help you disguise them in case something comes across them. Animal or person.
Theodore, what makes you think that our objective is on the other side of the planet anyway?
I mean, out of character, I thought that was mentioned at some point. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Well, maybe it was. I just don't remember that. Was it?
Well, it seems like the fleet is kind of over this general area.
I thought we didn't know where it was. Like we had to go find it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so the fleet is sort of in this, like, kind of above, like, in space in geosynchronous orbit, like, near this area, too.
How far away is the crash site? Like 2 kilometers or something, you said?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 miles. Yeah, 2 or 3 kilometers,
Wait,
I think.
is it a crash site or is it a park site?
No, the crash site of your ship.
Spaceship.
Your ship. Your ship.
Didn't we come here because Ariel was tracking this guy, so we were meeting up with her, so can't she just tell us what the situation is? Like, where the guy is and what we need to do? That's why
I think that's why I thought.
I don't exactly know where he is. He kind of invited me to come down, and I probably shouldn't. I mean, I didn't trust him. I tried to be stealthy. Not as stealthy as I thought I was, and they shot me down. So I basically know that.
So you went down to the planet to investigate something because you got an invitation from the guy that said, "Hey, person over there who's secretly spying on me, come down here to the planet."
Well, I mean, he is my twin brother, so yes.
There's that as well.
How did they know that it was you? And that it was okay to let you down if you were being sneaky?
Oh, well, he and I have a force bond, so he always knows when I'm nearby.
That stuff. Okay.
So where is he now? And how do we know Dr. Mecco is with him?
Well, I was gonna, that's why I was saying we could combine our efforts and then we could get an idea of who's where and how powerful the force users are and how many people they have with them. I figure with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Force users. We could probably get a pretty good picture of what's going on. We combine our efforts.
Okay, I'm gonna go build and deploy the things.
Alright, Rami's gonna go help you, because he knows the mechanics-y things.
I'm also gonna go help, so that if what I'm planning on doing is, in addition to help carrying things, is I'm gonna try and disguise them as best I can, so that even if a person or animal comes across them, they'll be ignored. Because that's what I can do.
I will volunteer to go place at least one of them, because I'm good at not getting caught.
Alright, so you guys are all doing that. Shiloh is with Kalani looking at bug parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Kalani has a high perception.
Inside the ship.
And she's done Kalani always helps Shiloh, doesn't she? She's actually pretty.
Yeah.
She should probably get some She should probably get some skill boosts in medicine. Honestly, with the amount of time she's done this,
She already got the training for treat injury from helping me.
she should get more. I
Yeah,
feel
she
like.
should get it.
She likes trained in
So
life
should I make a roll
sciences
here?
too.
Oh, Kyla, I want to ask you one more thing real quick before we move on.
Yes.
So I can ascertain the bearing of the transmission signal. Can I estimate the distance based on the signal strength?
Yeah, you can get rough. Yeah, you can get rough estimation, but it also depends on the strength of the transmitter. So things that are originating from like a vehicle or a ship are going to have a stronger signal strength. So that might throw your estimations off a little bit.
I mean, if I can get within 50 or 100 kilometers, that's useful.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell how far away, like within that range.
Because that's gonna affect how far apart I place the two.
Yeah, it looks like everything's within like a 20 mile radius of a point, like around where it reminds that the ship was, generally speaking.
All right, then I'm gonna place the two transmitters 10 kilometer distant from one another.
Okay. So are you gonna put them?
No, I wanted to ask that before I go build the thing. Before we got onto another thing, we can go back to the other thing. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Can you give me a mechanics check too? We can see how Ramia's helping you out though. So you guys are tag teaming. So he's rummaging through his spare parts.
Oh, you mechanics check.
Mechanics check.
Me or you?
I already rolled one, so
okay.
You also give me a roll. I just want to know if they're going to have some catastrophic failure right when you need it to or not. I want to know how sturdily you put these things together.
Oh. Please don't be a 1. Please don't be a 1. Please don't be a 1. Please. It's not a 1. Yes. Okay. It's not a 1.
All right. So yeah. So in the dynamics of the things, like you know what you want to do and how to do it. Ramai knows what parts he has on hand, so as you're going, he like starts grabbing stuff and be like, "No, don't put that there. Like, we need to put this like over here." So he's leading and you're assisting now but it's your plan. But he saw that he has the skills and you're assisting him now.
I'm gonna have a good roll tonight. I'm gonna.
And then when they're done, I want to try and disguise it.
Yep. I guess that would be a. How are you disguising it? What are you doing to disguise it? So I know what roll to use.
I'm using my knowledge of stealth and hiding in plain sight to make it look like part of the scenery.
All right, so are you using the force to disguise it, or are you?
Well, I can't concentrate on them forever.
Right. So you're gathering. So you're gonna go outside and gather stuff to cover them in, so they look like they're. Are you covering them in things? Like, I don't get exactly what you're trying to do.
So using the force, I manipulate light. So I have a pretty good understanding of how that works. I want to use some like natural branches and stuff, but also like I grab a couple reflective pieces from that Ramai like in his junk bag, any reflective pieces, and I use it to sort of bounce off light so that it gives off kind of an illusionary outside to kind of make it invisible. true. It's true. My ironic force gift.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what role I should. I'll figure it out later. Okay. Actually,
Just make it a stealth roll.
Yeah, just a stealth roll.
Yeah.
Stealth
But
roll is covered in that. It's covered in the book. It falls under that.
Making things stealthy.
Doesn't necessarily have to mean moving without detection. It could mean camouflaging an object.
all right. Yeah, give me a stealth roll then.
Not survival, which is what I know you want me to roll.
I was thinking
I'm
about
not
it.
trying to survive. I'm trying to disguise something.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I believe the
Okay.
actual rules are like sleight of hand.
Yeah, sleight of hand. Exactly. That's under stealth.
Stealth is weird in the system. I don't
I
like
knew
it.
what he was thinking, though.
Anyway, okay, so you guys are all out in the workshop, like arc welding, assembling the stuff, and Shiloh's deep in his mad science laboratory.
Don't make the
Kalani
plague.
just like.
Please don't make the plague.
Kalani
Except
goes.
you
it's
don't have a
like-
science laboratory on hand. You're on a ship. You're on like a cargo ship. So good luck.
Kalani says as they start. Before we start, can I just ask a clarifying question?
I think Theodore's there.
Sure.
This isn't going to be a part of your forced disease plan, is it? Like you're not using it?
Force disease.
I thought we all forgot about that, and I'm a little bit disappointed that you reminded us. Fresh to mind again.
I'm role-playing Kalani, guys. Is what she would ask. You know she would.
She would.
Eagle forgets nothing.
Rumors of this force disease have been greatly exaggerated.
Well, I
She's-
mean, like, yeah.
She's asking about this construction project that we're doing.
No, I'm playing Kalani now. We're talking about the bugs.
Yeah, the bug thing.
Okay.
Yeah. She's wondering
Because
if
Shiloh is studying.
Trying to determine what possibility to access the force, it might be useful to understand how this thing doesn't access the force. But I don't think we want to make the clones immune to the force. That would be a bad idea.
No, I think that would be worse. But I'm uncomfortable with anything that's like poisoning people. So if we could just figure out how this works, that'd be fine.
Don't worry, that's the plan. Now could you hand me that midichlorian microscope over there?
Okay, it's this thing, right?
The midichlorian microscope on Ramai's ship.
It's a diplomat ship.
Survey
He's a sun
says-
guard. He needs to have the ability to measure midichlorian.
If it's on Padme's
he
ship,
has the
it's gotta be on this
and
ship
stuff.
too.
Yeah, why does the Queen of Naboo have a...
I think
The head of the Sun Guard definitely has one.
that was a program Obi-Wan used malware to install on her computer. Obi-Wan's like, let me plug in. Or maybe he was communicating with the Jedi headquarters, and they have like a database thing that does remote tests.
Yeah, well, how can it
No.
stand for midichlorian?
I think it was his own personal device thing that he had.
No, he was
No.
looking into the ship's thing. He's
Yeah.
like looking into like Mr. Spock's telescope on the bridge.
Maybe that's just how it displays data, and it was communicating with some Jedi archive device or something.
Or maybe
Well, the
just
archive device
standards are
isn't doing the
standard on a
counting
ship.
of the midichlorian. Because they weren't teleporting the midichlorians to Coruscant to be counted. They
Yeah,
were
but
being
her
counted.
ship is like super fancy.
Yeah, my ship is
It's luxury ship. And yes, his
Rich
ship is very
person's
advanced.
yacht with a
Just make
medical-
maybe
with
you
a
should
really
just
good
make
medical-
a roll. Just make a roll. See what is his level of medical equipment is aboard this ship. It's a very advanced stealth ship.
Not much.
So why
answer is
I
not
need to
much.
make a roll? That's unfair. I'm rolling.
No, this is a roll for Ramai's ship, not for Shiloh's. Oh, you rolled even worse. Okay.
Okay, my ship has a technology level of...
it's got enough. It's got a med bay big enough to patch the boo boos and the bruises.
Well,
It
okay.
has, yes, it has medical
But-
equipment. Like,
But
it has like.
Shiloh and Kalani have done this enough. Like, let's cobble together something and see what we can do.
Oh my goodness.
Did you happen to get any of the chitin from any of those creatures?
Aren't you gone?
Yeah, I took a piece of it. And that's like,
Yeah, you're in a different room, Theodore.
Sorry,
Or maybe he got more
wild.
No, I would have got into that room because what else am I doing?
I thought you went out
More
with
interested.
them.
Well, he's waiting. Well,
What out with
they
who?
also can't really. They're still building.
They're building.
So I guess Theodore is roaming, looking for something to preoccupy himself with. So what are you attempting to do other than that, child?
Study this.
Okay, give me
See what the chemical composition is or something.
Life science.
Yeah, give me a life science check, I guess.
I love specialized characters. They're really
My
good.
life science bonus is only 15. I don't even have a focus.
Okay, so you're looking at it. You wish that this ship had better medical, diagnostic equipment. Like, you can't, do a DNA sequence or anything like that, sir, biology person.
That's all good. How are we supposed to treat people medically when we can't read their DNA? This is Star Wars. We gotta be able to do that.
How come you don't have your junior
how is
scientist
Oh, wait, yeah, don't you have a
medical kit?
Yeah, don't
Do you have a medical kit?
You have to have a medical
What's
kit.
in a medical? What is in a medical kit?
crap
I don't even
ton of
remember
stuff.
because he never uses it. I know you can do surgeries out of a medical.
Yeah,
I don't have a
kit.
surgery.
Yeah.
No, I have a surgery kit.
Oh, you have that's even better.
For doing surgery.
Yeah.
Surgeries have microscopes, though, so you can see up close.
I don't think they do.
Well, they've got,
It has diagnostic,
not microscopes, but
diagnostic scanners. Clearly, those can scan DNA.
I'm gonna look this up.
They
I
can't-
got the books. I'm gonna go look.
They can scan the DNA.
Diagnostic scanners, anti-venom, medicine to counteract the attacks of contaminated water and radiation poisoning, burn treatments, defibrillator, respirator, shock blankets, pressure cuff, cholesterol, a pulseless tester for patient transport, and surgical tools.
I feel like the diagnostic
So
scanners just
he has
general
a-
biorhythms and stuff.
He has
Not-
a
Except this
tricorder.
is futuristic fancy world where
It's like a tricorder level of analysis.
Tricorder
Except
is
it's not
pretty
Star Trek.
advanced.
dude, Qui-Gon Jinn's comlink can detect midichlorians. How can my diagnostic scanner not detect midichlorians?
No, it can't detect it. It can transmit it.
Also, that's really far in the future.
Equipment that measures the midichlorians has to be in.
Yeah, the measurement has to be in
They
it.
don't have to
Otherwise,
be
yeah,
in
that doesn't.
They
Yeah.
can't teleport the midichlorians
Yeah.
to the ship to be analyzed.
Yeah.
Whatever he
So
does
the
has to be
comlink,
done
the
on
little
his
attachment
comlink.
thing on the Jedi comlinks are dope apparently and can detect midichlorians.
My argument is, if I were the GM, would be that's thousands of years in the future, and you don't have that.
Do you have a surgery kit?
I mean,
Does that say
Yeah,
what's,
he has a
is it the
surgery
small
And I have an A2A medical bundle also.
A2. I don't know what that
It's
is.
a specialized Jedi medical kit, so
Well,
that's
medical
better.
kit comes with it.
Midichlorians.
you detect nothing.
Can I detect midichlorians on other things?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to transplant some midichlorians onto the chitin.
Okay.
How?
You're taking a blood sample
Just
and
like
putting it on.
getting some midichlorians from stuff
That
and putting it on there.
On it, the midichlorians, I think they live inside the cells, so you're gonna have to do like some sort of weird, crazy transformation nonsense. I don't think you have the equipment to do that,
It's a super
sir.
plague that wipes out all life on this planet.
Okay, well then I'm going to measure the DNA. I'm going to look at the DNA of
The real plot twist. Shia is Darth Plagueis' wife.
He's the predecessor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to go into a trance and I'm going to influence the midichlorians to just fly through the air and go into the chitin.
No.
Skylar's putting a red line here. Like, you're not
Right,
going.
so what are you actually attempting to do?
I just want to. Okay, what I want to do is take the chitin. That's not even made of cells. That's like an extra cellular matrix, like protein thing.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
And so it's like basically a rock. So a rock you can use the force on it, but this magical thing you can't use the force on it. Therefore, we need to like analyze what the chemical composition of this chitin is and see if it has any weird substances in it that aren't found in normal insect chitin.
Kalani's just like,
Also, I'm going to take a
That
DNA
sounds good.
sample from the tissue that I have to see what kind of DNA sample it has.
I think we've gone out of the proper bounds of this adventure by quite a bit.
Hey, the name of this episode has to deal with these voids in the forest. Therefore, this is very relevant.
plus, if we can
Right,
understand
so-
how they do this, maybe we could replicate it when we go fight Sith.
Right. So,
This seems like something
Shiloh,
you
since
need
you're
to
a
know
force using person, we're apparently going down the deep diving depths of midichlorians now. I blame Kyrath for this.
Hooray.
Well, I'm just saying, we can just make a roll and see what happens. I'm just trying to get as much information as possible.
I just see him.
You already
Yeah,
rolled
the
a life
GM has to
science.
make this crud up.
Yeah, I
So that
have to
was-
make it up. Okay, I have to tell you what actually is happening.
Okay.
So you're taking a look at this chitin since it's not actually a cell. So you're familiar, but even like a rock, like there's still like midichlorians like around it and
What?
things.
No, there's not.
Well, how else do you lift it?
With the force, obviously.
Yeah, but how does something see a rock in the forest?
Midichlorians are
But-
symbiotic. How do they can't live inside?
Aerith, you're going to have
You
to
know
let
what?
something
The
go.
problem is George Lucas isn't sciencey enough to figure this out, and you're trying to figure out on a science level. So
I'm just trying to
you're
say,
looking
are
at
there
this.
chemicals in this chitin that
There are not
prevent the
chemicals.
force from
No,
working?
there's not.
There are no
There are
chemicals.
not chemicals. There are not chemicals.
What happens to the creature
So
if Kalani uses
exactly the
this on
same
it?
as chitin from like some other bug.
You're trying to understand the
Kill it.
MacGuffin.
You don't know.
Never
You
try to
don't know.
understand the MacGuffin.
Everybody be quiet and listen to Bazak. He's 100% correct.
What did Bazak say?
You're trying to understand the MacGuffin. Never try to understand the MacGuffin. And I say this as a professional person who tries to understand MacGuffins. Don't do it. It's not the time.
I'm not saying we have to explain it in player. I'm just saying in character we have to have something.
Yeah, you can't. Shiloh was looking at it. He can't figure out why it's not working. Like, he doesn't understand why it's not lifting.
Can Kalani try and use her Sever Force ability onto the creature? So, like, the exposed part of the creature?
Doesn't Sever Force basically work by severing the person's connection to their own midichlorians? So that wouldn't really do any. There's no that does nothing. And also, there's no a living person to use it on. So the power.
There's no midichlorians? Is that what you were about to say?
You already said that. I already determined that. That's what my sensor did. My first thing I scanned for was midichlorians. There's no midichlorians.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how's that possible?
Well, because they're the powerhouse of the cell, and chitin's not a cell, it's a protein.
But,
It's a
like,
molecular structure, it's not a living organism. Like a fingernail.
yeah, but inside the creature, the guts of the creature. Like, if we took its
Do you have
intestines
guts?
out. Yeah, and I thought you took some guts.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we
He
have
also
a tissue
took guts.
sample and the chitin.
He also took a tissue sample too.
Guts are tissue, guts have cells.
Yeah.
Yes, he also has cells. Yes, there's nothing in. He didn't find anything in the cells either.
That's why I said I'm gonna
Yeah.
inoculate them with some midichlorians.
Well, you're not. That's not. Okay, that's not a bad idea though. You're on. If it has no metachlorians, what if we take a DNA sample of like Kalani or Shialu that has metachlorians and inject the two and see what happens?
Right. So Shiloh, being a crazy science person, a crazy person with the Force, knows that cloning the Force users is really weird. and usually they go insane. Because
who said anything about cloning us? We're not cloning us.
No. What I'm saying is midichlorian transplants don't work because for somehow, like, the symbiotic relationship is formed with a particular organism, and so like the cloning is weird, and like the midichlorians don't like it, so it drives people insane. So what I'm saying is you can't transplant midichlorians. Like,
I take some of my skin bacteria and I put that on the tissue sample.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
now the bacteria that have the midichlorians are now in the tissue.
Yeah, I just.
And now the guts are insane. Thank you.
So you took bacteria and put it on the tissue sample?
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I didn't want to destroy my own tissue sample. I put it on the chitin where they.
So what is this bacteria supposed to be doing?
What? Once the bacteria grow, then there'll be bacteria on the chitin, and the bacteria will have midichlorians in them.
Why?
Oh, we're still on the MacGuffin.
Yes,
well, we're going to be here the rest of the night.
Yeah, this is not. Your child is like, I can figure it out, and then it's like, nothing is working. And he's like, curse these primitive tools. And you guys are all in Happy Land building a thing that'll actually work. And Shiloh's back here being like,
okay, I'm making a use the force check to influence the midichlorians to colonize this chitin.
Can Kalani help him with that?
It sounds like it's taking longer than it's going to take them to build this.
Okay, Kalani, so I get to roll with advantage.
I just want to know if there's a military advantage to this that we can replicate. That's all I want.
Boom! 50. Dang it, one away from a nat 20.
Yeah, well, too bad. Doesn't do anything.
But it's a 50. Come on.
Well, the thing is, you've never successfully, like, convinced the midichlorians to ever do anything, and you shouldn't
50
even
times 0 is still 0.
How do I use the force without convincing the midichlorians to do something? We're in a symbiotic relationship.
That's not how it works. Like, Darth Plagueis is, like, unique in the fact that he could do that, so we're gonna go with you don't know how to do that.
I mean, we've been arguing about this for 20 minutes now. Is all I'm saying. This has been going on a while.
I think the point is you need a lab and like your entire lifetime to try and figure this out, and you don't have either at the moment. So,
spoiler: Shiloh is Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Okay, is there any way we can? Once we can examine this, is there any way we can maybe find a way to detect them in the Force, now that we know what we're looking for?
Actually, wait, screw that. Is there a way that we can detect them not with the Force?
Yeah, our eyes.
Not with the Force.
That's the question you needed to ask.
You can see them.
Okay, I'm gonna build a scanner that can detect the biomolecules in their chitin, and so we can scan for them. That's what I'm gonna do. That sounds much more productive.
There you go. Something.
There. Okay, sure. You can do. Give me a mechanics check since you're building something.
No. I'm not building it.
You said you're building something.
I'm building it with the Force.
That doesn't mean you're not building it.
I'm building. Wait, no, I changed my mind. I'm not building it. I'm calibrating the ship's sensors using my knowledge of life science.
Kalani said 12.
These ship sensors aren't designed to scan for biomolecules miles away from the ship.
Okay, fine. I'm using my diagnostic scanner that's in my medical kit that functions as a mass spectrometer. That's what I'm doing.
This is probably the point where the GM should go, no, this doesn't work. No, you can't do this.
Can I please roll life sciences? No.
Eagle will attempt to do it because she has a 12 in her mechanics. That's not terrible.
Okay. That's better than me.
Kalani will try and calibrate it for you.
Oh, that's not
26.
bad.
Cool. Okay, so you guys spend a bunch of time trying to calibrate a thing to detect. So you got like your scanner. You're like beep 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 beep.
No, it's like Stargate Atlantis. I just hold my little data pad and it shows me dots where all the creatures are.
Yeah.
It's a life sign detector for the creatures.
You okay? You okay over there, John?
Sorry, I had to entertain myself with memes and this stuff.
I saw you just like.
I'm sorry, John.
This is too good. That is outstanding. Well done.
Pretty great. That's pretty great. Okay, so Shiloh has now successfully created a thing that he spent way too much time. So this would have been useful like 3 hours ago when you guys wanted to go put out the sensors, but he's been trying to mess with midichlorian nonsense for forever. So you guys finished what you were doing like ages ago. So
but now
Theodore was going to help with you guys, and then you started talking about midichlorians, and Theodore was just like, his eyes glazed over, and he's just like, no. Like, never mind.
I heard them opening the ramp to go and put the sensors out, and I was like, oh, my IQ.
All right.
So I would like to point out that what he's basically made is that lifetime or motion detector thing from Alien.
Yeah. Except that it only detects these specific creatures.
Yes.
Well, we can't detect them in the Force, so we needed somewhere else.
This has it also just as a thing, since it detects chemicals. This has a very limited range.
No, the sensitivity on this is like in the femtomolar scale, so like it's really, really good.
Wouldn't that just tell you if there are chemicals in the air?
So like
oh, there was a creature somewhere in here, somewhere.
Dude, this is Star Wars.
Here's some advice, GM.
Okay, so 10 meters.
Yeah.
Using science.
You can roll whether they're upwind or downwind.
Basically,
roll some dice
well,
whether they're upwind or downwind, and then it.
Okay, so Kalani got it to calibrate. I bet Ramai can refine it, so we can have Ramai look at it. Maybe he can improve.
Yeah, it's still just gonna basically be like in a radius around the scanner that's pretty close. But also the things came out of a pit, so you can just look out for pits. So anyway, guys, we're actually doing a useful thing. Doing a useful thing. All right, John. So what was your plan? What was Eden's plan for putting out the sensors?
Oh, I want to deploy one, I guess here near where we're at already, and then another one on the perpendicular bearing 10 kilometers away.
Can our ship not function as one of those? Or
yeah, the ship can function.
Yeah, it's using a triangulate, so 2 points plus the ships. Triangles.
So, like west, east, or north, south. Which way are you going?
I don't know which way is from which way is the signal from us.
The signals seem like they're all to the north of you.
Okay, then I want to go either
Northwest
east
and
or
northeast.
Which direction seems more like safe?
Safe. The plains look like it's pretty open. Like if you go to the east, it's getting more forested, where all the scary things are. The west is more plains.
Scary things.
Well, when you went into the forest, that's where you got attacked.
Going to the plains, there might not be scary things, but we're more likely to be detected there.
Also, if we're trying to triangulate, should we be trying to like go in two different directions to plant two different devices? Or
Put one here. Put one here where we're at.
doesn't the ship already do that?
Are we leaving the ship here? I thought we were going to take the ship and go somewhere.
I don't know.
No. I mean, yeah, the ship has an antenna on it, and it can do that, but but if we move the ship, then that won't be any good anymore. We only need two bearings to intersect on a transmission source.
That is correct, yeah. So he's saying basically he's going to put one here, so if you decide to move the ship, you'll still have the triangulation working. And you'll just leave one here.
We could put them in two different directions, but that's just double work for no reason.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, so
are we gonna take the ship, or are we gonna go on foot to deploy the other thingamajig?
I can move faster and quieter on my own, most likely. I could probably do it myself.
How fast can you travel 10 kilometers? Around 20 kilometers round trip.
Well, let's see. What's your
running
speed?
What's your speed?
Your base movement speed.
Your base movement speed.
Like
An hour and 15 minutes would be extremely fast.
Let's see, what's...
That's about
The base
12 miles.
speed is 6 squares per 6 seconds, so that's 30
Yeah,
feet
but-
in 6 seconds.
But his speed is faster because he can run on all fours.
I'm just thinking of
So
5
probably of
times.
like 45 then for him.
Let's see, your speed on all fours. Do I have it written down somewhere? I have it somewhere.
Speed should be on his character sheet. Right next to his BAB.
Yeah, but that's his base speed now when he's on all fours.
But I'm on all fours
It's on
today.
It's probably like
It's
I
45.
remember.
Because it's probably...
Yeah.
Yeah, because I use it all the time, so I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. So 8. So that's 8. So that's 8 times 5. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 in 6 seconds. So that's 40 feet in 6 seconds.
I think you guys are making this harder than it needs to be.
That's how we roll, John.
That
I was about
is
to say
an
that.
astonishing. That's it. Oh,
It's like
oops.
20 some odd miles an hour. Or almost 30 miles an hour. Because his movement speed is roughly the same as what Arethias's is when he's hasted. Kind of nasty. Olympic level so he could do it probably 72, maybe 80 minutes.
That seems well. That's without sprinting. So if he sprinted, that'd be like triple that. So that'd be like 21 feet per second. Yeah, that's like 23 kilometers an hour. So if he sprinted the whole way, which would be tough to do, he could probably make the trip in like an hour and like a little bit more than an hour.
Who can sprint for an hour?
He's a Salonian. They're
Super
kind of
awesome
like
Star Wars characters.
Salonians are...
that's
they
kind of
have
like their
some-
deal.
Yeah, they have some sick combos, man. Sick combos.
So you could probably do it, and plus setting it up and doing all that stuff, like hour and a half. So are you guys sending Theodore by himself? Are you guys all gonna go? Are you gonna fly? What's the plan?
Can't move that fast. Well, why is anybody going to go with him? Who's going to keep up with him?
The closest I could do is move people 6 squares every 6 seconds. That's not going to happen.
Speaking of which, Theodore, are you not still injured from the last fight?
We could do it in a spaceship in 5 minutes, but I mean, whatever.
I can heal him.
Yeah, I have a few hit points lost, but I've had time to rest, right? So I can get my condition going up 1.
Yeah. Yeah, because your poison got healed, so you're good.
Yeah, my poison's gone.
Mm-hmm. So you could take the ship. It's more visible, obviously, because you're flying a ship. If he's running on all fours, he's pretty low to the ground.
By the time I get back, Shiley will be done with his mad experiments.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened.
Oh. We lost the mad scientist.
Oh.
Oh no!
He's kind of back.
My Discord is exploding.
Why are you
It's
trying to
because it
do
knows
some
you're trying shenanigans.
Why are you trying to experiment on your Discord, man? You know better than that. You don't experiment on the Discord. You don't flip the switches and knobs on Discord without something going boom.
Okay, so Theodore will go out and I'll flip the stealth field generator on so that if I do get jumped.
Alright, so are you sending him west or east, Etan?
Well, if he's going on foot with his sneaky sneaks, then the plains is probably the safer alternative because he's probably not going to be detected from when the plains are to the east, right?
Plains are to the west.
Okay, then to the west.
Okay, he is
That's
sending
all.
Speedy Theodore Man to the west.
All you have to do is deploy the tripod legs and plant them firmly in the ground and press this button, and that's it.
Nice and simple, just like the eraser.
Alright, so give me a stealth check. With advantage because you're using stealth field generator.
I would have to say there has to at least be disadvantage because I'm running full speed.
Yeah, but you're visually...
No visual blur.
You want the advantage,
A visual,
in other words.
a visual
Shut up, take the
natural, a
advantage.
visual net, yeah.
It would be a visual
Oh, if he
blur.
rolled a nat one, he's super not stealthy on the
He's a
plains,
visual blur,
everybody.
but auditorily, it sounds like he's making a sonic boom, and all of his.
look at my roll.
Like, what is that?
That's not how. But stealth field generators mute sounds too.
Only if you use.
Alright, so
Yeah.
if he has disadvantage, he has a -1. He has a natural 1. If he has this advantage, he has a natural 20. So,
Wait, really?
are you sure you want to argue for disadvantage? Bazak voted for disadvantage. He gave himself disadvantage, so he rolled. All right, so he turned his stealth field generator on, and he's rolling out there with. All right, give me a survival check, Bazak.
It now takes you 5 hours. We're wondering where the one-punch squirrel is.
Not too bad.
The one-punch squirrel is gone now. What happened?
All
to
I'm
it?
saying is, this is now the second time that you fouled up our well-laid plans since we got here.
Nothing terrible's happened
But
yet.
this time he didn't do it on purpose.
Except for the part when Barry almost died.
Yeah, he had still like half health left. He was fine. All right,
Yeah,
so
I had more help
Theodore
than I could
turns
do.
invisible, and he sprints off. And as he sprints off, you're all like, he's going kind of. I can see the grass moving where he's going, and it sounds kind of clanky. But he's like super gone by the time it's like he's gone. He's doing the things. All right. So everybody else, Charlie and Kalani, are busy making the alien detector from from aliens to detect the bug thing. Okay.
We're all gonna die, man. We're all gonna die.
Everything about this entire mission is questionable.
We're all gonna die, man. We're all gonna die.
The line is game over.
That's right. Oops. My bad. I just looked it up too. My brain had it elsewhere. Game over, man. Game over. It's been forever since I've seen that movie too. Oh gosh, how long?
I
Too
hate
long.
those movies. I hate 'em.
I'm sorry, guys.
Interesting. watched them as a 12-year-old boy. I would not recommend them.
That's about the same age I watched them.
That sounds very scary.
There are no point.
Oh, no, wait.
No,
I watched them when I was 10. I don't recommend them.
Wait, which would? No, what do we not recommend? Sorry, I'm busy doing things.
Watching the Alien franchise movies.
Any of the Alien movies, don't do it.
I like Aliens. That is all I like.
Aliens is the better of them all, but that's like saying you like Mud better than Mud.
It's entertaining because it's an action movie, not a horror movie.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's why I watched it. It was action. It was kind of weird. 80s action. It was like hilarious. Nonetheless, what's going on? Besides the loud typing.
Well, Jaraht, you're sitting there, and you know it's Ariel. Well, Ariel's kind of just seems like she's like has now stopped paying attention.
Okay. I kind of have an idea as to what happened. But I am going to, however, an idea was put forward that we haven't followed up on, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't put the preliminaries to it. I'm going to go ahead and Serenity and start prepping for a mass use the Force check to scout out the planet for Force users.
Mass use the Force check, okie dokie. Rallying the troops to do mass use the Force check. Ariel is not paying attention to you.
Yeah. That's why I'm going to go ahead and push Serenity for this and spend a little bit in Serenity meditation first. A sufficient time that the GM would consider sufficient enough to create a natural 20 for this particular event.
If you're meditating with other people, and you're trying to get a real lay of the land sense, like it's gonna probably take a while. But your Force users, Ariel's currently staring off into space. Etan's not doing anything, so you can recruit Etan because Etan now. The two former Sith aren't doing anything. Kalani and Shiloh are off in medical scanner land, so that's fun.
You didn't finish it yet?
You'll finish it like right before Bazak gets back. Hang on. Actually, can we? I gotta do some like messagey things with Ariel here. So if everybody else take like 10-minute break, and so we can do this, and then we can like move things along. So go get snacks and stuff, so you're not all just sitting here being sad.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Stream, give us like just a few minutes, and we'll be right back.
Bazak. Is anybody getting like a airy sound coming from somewhere? Like a. Oh, it's gone now.
Okay.
Okay, that was weird. Anyway, anywho. So, Bazak, give me a perception check.
And unfortunately,
It's a pretty decent perception check. Hang on. Oh, how do I do it? Yeah, so as you're sprinting back, you do notice so this is like plain, so it's got like some tall grass. So as you're running, you kind of pick up that there's like this like the grass near you is starting to move in your general direction.
Yeah. You have found the Velociraptor.
I think I'm gonna try and hide. Figure out what's going on.
Alright. I forgot to.
It's one of the bug things. You're dead now.
Please remember who single-handedly killed at least one of them.
That's true. That's true. I forgot your one-punch squirrel.
If I were a one-punch squirrel, I might accidentally destroy the shit in this fight.
Oh boy, please don't. Nobody wants that. Where is my magic? Okay, so you're hiding.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hide from this thing, whatever's coming for me.
Yeah, wait. Oh, why is this not working? There we go. Okay.
Oh, crap.
So you just like hunker down in the grass. You're noticing that this this thing that is getting closer to you is not flying. The grass is moving, and kind of in like a little bit of a wavy motion. You're thinking this thing is pretty big, like maybe like 45 feet long or so. So it's pretty big. It's a pretty big snake thing. It's green. It's got some spikes on it. It gets pretty close to you, and it's kind of like.
Do I know what it is?
You can give me a knowledge life sciences check or a knowledge galactic lore, I guess.
Yeah, I'll give the lore one, although I'm not trained in either, but that's the one that makes sense for me to be able to know off the top of my head on accident. I'll throw it in a force point, because why not?
Yeah, you have no idea what this thing is. It just looks super-duper scary to you.
Going to try to slowly sneak away. That is my plan.
It looks scary.
Alright, so we've got Theodore, who rolled a nat 1 on his stealth check, attempting to run away from giant snake monster. Sneakily. So, It's slithering
that was the
around.
roll for it to find me initially. I was hoping I could weasel another roll out of me, but I guess not.
So, as you're going along, this thing, like, it kind of, like, looks like it went past you a little bit, and now it's sort of, like, and then it kind of stopped, and, like, it's sticking out its tongue, like, kind of, like, it's smelling the air around, and it's kind of, like, it raises its head up above the grass, and you're like, yeah, I could probably, like, eat you in, like, a bite if it got you. It's pretty big. So it's looking around, like his tongue is flicking in and out.
Did you say it was floating?
No, it's not floating. It stuck its head up above the grass, so you can like see a little bit. So yeah, I'll give you another. Yeah, you can try and roll another stealth check.
And this time, I'm actually trying to be stealthy.
Does the stealth generator just hide sounds and visuals, right?
It has a dampening field on it.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I know why you're asking that. I'm not sure Theodore does. So.
Alright. So it's like flicking its tongue around. You're like going super slow, crawling through the grass. It's sort of meandering around, but you manage to kind of duck around it. It doesn't really like look at you or really like make it any more sudden moves towards you. And so you start getting farther away from it, and it's sort of like where you were. You kind of see like where you were hiding for a bit. Like it goes over there and it's like looking at the ground over there, kind of like checking things out as you're going back towards the ship. And it eventually starts to get kind of far away from you. You're going much slower now, so everybody else, you're like, dang, like you thought maybe like hour and a half with his speed, like he's still not back. So you now know there is a Theodore. He has told you nothing. He seems late. What do you do?
Call him on the phone.
Yeah. Theodore, can you give us an update on your status? Since nobody else is saying anything.
I have a giant snake problem at the moment.
A giant snake problem? You're very quiet.
Could you speak up, please?
Yes, a giant snake problem.
Do you require assistance, or would you prefer
Hasn't found me yet.
That doesn't answer what I asked. Do you require assistance?
Basically a mouse compared to the snake.
Would you like us to fly by or something?
Depends on whether or not you want me to be delayed or if you want things to be quicker.
Alright.
It doesn't look like it's gonna find me so far, but
Alright. I will relay that to the others.
Well, I mean, we're all linked in the communication.
Yeah, you're all linked on the comments. You all got this. Yeah.
Which is really hilarious because Kalani and Shialu are doing this thing, and all of a sudden they hear, "I have a giant snake problem."
No, I hear, I have a giant snake problem.
I start scanning the horizon and the surrounding area for more giant snakes.
All right, so Etan is now like, oh, there's giant snakes in the plains, like that's miscut. All right, so he's all right. So you're looking out on the horizon, like you can see like a couple miles in those, like you don't see anything heading towards you.
Ariel's gonna start using the Force to kind of create a mirage of a rock around us, so that hopefully any other creatures who are curious will not come near us.
I'm not sure if it would fit up the ramp.
Can you see the snake?
Say again?
Jaraht, can you see the snake?
I will turn towards the direction I know that Theodore ran off to and look, do I see the snake? Using my force percepta thingies, but he's too far away.
Probably below can you look through a planet? It's probably below the horizon.
Yeah, he would be below the horizon, which means my sight wouldn't be able to pick it up. Even Miraluka couldn't pick that up.
Depends on how far I got back before the snake intercepted me.
Yeah, how far away is he?
Also, I don't know how big this planet is.
You're still about
10 kilometers away is over the horizon on Earth.
Yeah, you're about halfway back.
I'd have to burn my serenity on sense life. Use the force check to sense the life on the planet towards him.
Or you could do it and not burn a serenity until.
What do you mean? The serenity takes a 1 round to activate. There's infinite use.
This is
means
true.
I've already got it charged up. Because Jaraht was going to use serenity on the group, use the force check, but everybody else is away, so he can use that on this instead. Because it's already there.
Okay, Jaraht is peering off into the wilderness to find living things. You find a lot of living things, like little shrew guys, like little bugs flying around, like the grass, the trees, a Solonian with a very fast heart rate.
like 4 or 5 giant snakes around the place.
200 to 300 beats per second. Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Probably not as fast.
As you're going, you look a little bit past where he is, you can see blades of grass getting bent over by apparently nothing.
Blades of grass.
How convenient.
Oh, no.
There's all this life, there's shrews, there's all these things.
This is the worst planet for your people.
And then the one thing that's dangerous. Oh, that's invisible.
No, invisible.
What kind of nightmare planet for?
I haven't told
for
anybody
your people
else
is
this. I haven't said anything.
Nobody else knows this.
Don't migrate to other worlds.
This planet should be like the exile Miraluka planet for the worst prisoner.
This is where we said very bad people for Miraluka. Jaraht his heart skips a beat, and if Ariel might be the only one who picks up on that, unless somebody else is looking, and it's like,
yeah, the mirage kind of shimmers in and out for a second as she realizes Jaraht can't see it.
Might I suggest an expeditious retreat? Theodore, I'm not sure that myself or Ariel can be of any help. The others might be able to. I cannot see whatever creature it is that is bearing down on your position. I can see the grass. I can see the effect it has on the wildlife around you, but not it. Again,
Can you see me from the ship? That close?
barely. I had to use the force. The space magic. I cannot see you. Or I cannot see it. I can see you, but I cannot see it.
I had to use the space magic.
Well, there's 2 options. I keep sneaking, or I bolt and hope I'm faster.
If you bolt, we won't be able to do much except throw our lightsabers at something we can't see. I mean, Etan can help you. But, like,
Well,
if you're just gonna be late a couple of minutes.
Because I'm probably half a mile away still. So,
Yeah, but the thing
If you're
is...
sneaking past it successfully, I'd say just keep doing that.
Because here's the thing. I'm sure he has brothers, and if you start running, maybe they'll wake up too.
Just do be careful.
Also, if it happened to like shed some skin that dropped like a scale on the ground,
Shiloh, now's not the time! I don't...
you know what? You can do that after you kill it with the ship's cannons. I'm pretty sure it's not going to entirely lose my trail anyways. I'm going to be quiet now and keep sneaking. See you in, I don't know how long, but a long time.
Well, this should be interesting. And I will look around to see if Dakaya is hitting out the door, seeing, oh, challenge, I'm going to go kill it.
I send a telepathic link to Jaraht and I say, this planet is the worst. Why did anyone decide to come here?
I am not sure what the world is going on.
Kyler, don't you dare put your head down. You created all of this.
I did create all of this. I regret nothing. No, it was more at the Dakaya running out. Dakaya is not running out to go challenge this thing.
No.
Dakaya has way too strong of a self-preservation instinct for that.
Unless it's coming after Amai, she's comfy on the ship right now, guarding their ship. Mostly from Sith, but also from you guys. It's their ship.
I mean, the ship has like some cannons on it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, Etan, though, you do notice that like you are getting signal now from the other thing, so like you can start triangulating positions of stuff.
All right.
So I'm gonna very roughly attempt to draw things here.
Cool.
And
We're right next to my city and tower drawing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be worse than that because I drew that in paint. This is just gonna be drawn in Roll20. Like this is gonna be way worse. Because this was a clever plan that I did not think of. So I don't have a giant battle map for this. So, all right. So we've got. All right. So this. I was drawing a shape. How do I control what shape the shape is? Oh, I hold Alt for things.
Yeah.
We're good. I figured it out. We're good. If Roll20 would stop lagging. Okay, so we're gonna. All right, this is your ship. That's slightly bigger than what the ship is like.
I don't
we're
see
just gonna do that.
what you're drawing.
Did I put it in the? Is it in
No.
the
I see
GM?
a green square.
I see a green
I see
square.
Green square. All right, green square is a ship. Okay.
Oh, that's the spot where no matter where I move my window, it.
How convenient that is.
Characters.
All right, so approximately here-ish is a lot of comms chatter that, based on what Ramai was telling you with the scanners, also you surmise is the frigate ship that's landed over yonder.
On top of that mountain or beyond that mountain?
No, that's not on the mountain.
Don't look at the background.
Don't look at the background. Background not important.
This is more spatial.
This is spatial. The image is just
Drawing on top of a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's to the north and east a little. Okay.
Yeah.
Which
So
means
we've got
there.
all right. So and also based on just on Ramai's data, hang on. Roll20, why are you lagging so much? So no, that's not going to be a good color. I find good colors that'll actually show up on this map.
Pink.
You can actually see it.
Pink. Let's see here. What else? Red.
Okay.
Oh, you use red. Okay.
Gold.
Oh, nice. Gold yellow.
I'm trying to grab this to move it. It's not working very.
You can't move. I don't think.
There you go.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can.
It was, but it was moving very shambly.
Okay. But yeah, it was moving.
Okay, so the crash landing and kind of nearish where you rescued Ariel is over there. And then you've got a bunch of like more moving targets around. So there's one that's kind of like right here, and we got one like there, and another one about so, and then one that's like way out there. One that looks kind of like it's going back towards the ship right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you actionable intelligence.
How many smart missiles do we have?
0.
So not
I
everyone's like
double-checked on that
communicating.
before we
So
left.
it kind of seems like there's about like 10. There's about 10 squads out right now communicating with this with the command center on board the ship.
Well, all right.
So just so to give you kind of notice of like where Theodore set the other thingamajig, we'll do that in green too. Hang on. The other thingamajig is like there.
No, I sent him
Not
this.
quite to scale.
Oh, that is west. You're right.
Yeah. So, because we're normal people here, so we use regular up is north, cardinal direction-y things. So yeah. So that's what we've got. So these dots are moving around a little bit, but you can't like they're not constantly sending comms, so you gotta update their positions as they send transmissions. So if they go dark, you won't be able to track them, but you have a general idea of where they last were.
Well, when they're not transmitting, there's
There's
nothing to.
Yeah, so it's a very skippy. It seems like
Seems like peanut butter.
this group right here is sending out the most signals aside from the command center.
Can I do this? Can I hook up this stuff to the ship's computer so that it can, whenever one of these patrols, I'm presuming that they're patrols, whenever they transmit, that it will note their position, and then maybe the computer can try to interpolate some sort of like a pattern to their patrol.
Yeah, you could if you gathered enough data, you could
Like after
potentially
3 or
gather
4 or
control
5
data.
maybe transmissions from a given.
Maybe it's intermittent enough that like it might be hard to get. So you're trying to get like patrol routes, right?
Yeah.
It'll probably take you. The computer is not quite that great at doing that. It's going to need more information. It's probably going to need like a couple hours worth of information in order to get to see if there's actually a pattern to the movement.
Well, I'm not saying right this second, but like over
over time, it can collect. Yeah, it can collect data, so you can analyze it for movements. Yeah.
Okay, I want to try to set that up. I don't know, how much time we have for all of this stuff, but I want to try it.
Well, you can take as much time as you guys want. This is your nothing like. Some things with Ariel were happening, but she hasn't told anybody about that. So right now we're waiting for Bazak to get back, and you're doing these things. And has anybody actually told Ariel why you guys are all here?
No. Nope. Ariel has no clue. She's just like, yeah, eventually information will be told.
Yeah, I would have, Jaraht would have told her. Except Jaraht's player can't remember exactly why we're here.
I was going to tell her,
Blow
but
up
then I
the
realized
clones.
that we actually hadn't even really met each other, so then I was like, maybe somebody else should tell her.
Maybe you should introduce yourself and we can roleplay that, and you guys can actually figure out a plan, since John has done a great job of gathering intelligence.
Oh yeah, we're hunting that one Sith who's responsible
At
for
the current moment, I'm busy with Jaraht and Etan standing by a thing, waiting for snake problem to go away while keeping an illusion of a rock around us. So, things are happening.
I love this song. This song's great.
And it's so scary. It's so creepy though with
I
the
can't
snake
hear.
going about. Well, that's a you problem.
You hear now?
I can hear it, yeah. It
Because it
wouldn't be a me
deafens
problem
everybody
if you
else.
just use that listen together thing. Or
Watch
Yeah, but it's not all.
Force together.
because he
It's not the way I compiled music.
Yeah, he
and
did
so
a lot of
it's
work.
totally
in this.
different.
Mhm.
I compiled a music library on my own computer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, you should
Okay,
just turn your
so-
microphone down then, so I can turn your volume up without deafening myself. I don't see how any of you guys can hear the music because Kylar's voice is so loud. I have to turn him down.
I can barely hear it.
I can hear it just
yeah.
fine.
Well, I'm always worried about deafening people with my music. So I've. Anyway, all right. So you guys are all like maintaining watch until Theodore gets back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do the thing that I said.
Oh, the extrapolating of the data stuff.
I want to go. Do I need to do anything to make that be happen?
It's pretty easy to just tell the computer to. Do you have a data pad?
He should.
But
If he
that- that
doesn't,
device.
Probably.
Ariel does.
So you could also link it so you could get the data. It would just have to, since it's the ship is the one processing the
I
information.
have a data pad.
Yeah. So you could have the ship keep updating your data pad with the information if you wanted it to as well. So you could have semi-live data. They would just maybe be able to track that transmission if they found what frequency you were transmitting on. But
Slick. I want to do that.
all right, yeah, that's pretty simple. You can do that with no problem. It'll take you a couple a little bit to set it all up, but that's pretty straightforward for a data pad and storing data on a computer. Not that big. Once you have enough data to analyze, that'll take you a little bit more to try and find patterns, but to set it up, not a big deal, especially for a Jedi Master. All right, so Etan's setting that stuff up. You guys are all waiting. It takes Theodore to get back, but Theodore, by the time you get back, your heart rate has slowed down because you haven't seen the snake in a while. It seems to have not followed you as far as you can tell. As you approach where the ship normally is, you see a giant boulder, or at least what you thought the ship was. You see a giant boulder. Give me an intelligence check.
I want to see this.
Actually, no. Make it a yeah. Let me see. Okay.
So 7.
All right. So you're looking here and you're like, wait, like, did I move? Did I go to the wrong place? I thought this is where the ship was. So you thought you made it back to the right spot, but it seems to you this is not the right spot.
Did you guys take off?
Jaraht will turn and look towards where Theodore was previously, and we'll look to see where
Right.
he is.
You can just
So
look
you can see
outside.
him. He's
Yeah.
like literally, he's like standing there, like looking at this. As far as you can tell, he's standing right outside the ship, just like staring and like looking around, like looking at the sky. Like, did you guys take off? Like, what's happening over here, guys?
We haven't left, Theodore. What do
Then
you,
where are you?
We're right here.
You're
Ariel,
looking right at us.
Ariel, do you have an illusion active?
I see a rock.
Oh.
So all of a sudden, Theodore, you're the rock just vanishes, and the ship is back where it was supposed to be.
Do apologize about that.
Theodore turns off his comp device.
I don't like creatures,
And then he
especially
says-
ones I can't see.
I'll be glad when I don't have to deal with these force weirdos anymore.
As soon as he's back on the ship, I put the rock back up. Because then, at least from above, we don't look like a ship, we look like a rock.
Okay. So, anybody want to roleplay, explain to Ariel what you guys actually are doing here? Because all you told her was that you were looking for.
I'll do it.
Alrighty! Yay! Plans, things, do the things, guys.
Go for it, because I don't
This should be
remember.
entertaining. You may see it.
We've been properly introduced. My name is Shayla.
Ariel. I think they've been mentioned a couple of times. They said that they had a companion who is currently not with them. More than once. I think you must be that companion.
Yes. So do you have any information on Darth Liaxalim?
Other than he's here and he's doing stuff that's not good. Apparently he's got some kind of research that's dangerous. And plans that are worse.
Well, there's this whole issue where the Sith have this one project to try to clone people and give them force powers. That's how Takaya got her force powers.
I'm sure mentioning that in her presence is not a good thing.
She's a clone.
Well, she was genetically modified. She's not really a clone, per se.
That's super creepy. As a Jedi, am super creeped out about the prospects of this, and as a Mira Luca, I don't really like anything that's unnatural in the Force. So this checks 2 of my creepy boxes off.
Did Takaya gonna respond to that comment? Since
No,
you're playing that character too.
She's busy with Ramai. She's listening, but she's just kind of doing her own thing. She's got her own issues.
No comment.
I would be quite pleased to be away from the giant snakes.
We don't have to worry about the giant snakes now. We look like a boulder to them. And also, coincidentally and helpfully, we look like a giant boulder to anyone who passes us by in like a ship or walks past us. So there's that. As long as I maintain conversation.
That we fire the ship's cannons at it.
Seems a little far away to do that. Okay, anyway, but that's not really the issue at hand. So, this Darth Liaxalim, whatever, he's making clones of Force users? That must be the research that he has,
And
then
there's some
it's
kind
dangerous.
of mind control technique that he has that they're using also on the clones. Also, the one time the clones did fight us, they were really good at using force grip, and when you kill them, they disintegrate into this deadly toxin. So make sure to avoid that if that happens.
That's good to know, especially since I do everything up close. Great, wonderful. You guys know anything about an admiral working with him?
Yes, there's Admiral Varys.
Who's he?
I assumed you knew since you asked about him.
The information I have is limited. I'm going to tell you how I got it, but I'm trying to first verify the truth in it.
I Okay, wait. First, I have a GM question.
Yeah.
So, Admiral Varys and Darth Laurel were the people that Caracas put in charge of destroying Project Genesis.
That is
But
correct.
the mind control techniques with Darth Areco are being used to control the clones. So that means Admiral Varys and Areco are on opposite sides. Right?
Or they were ordered to be on opposite sides. Could mean that they have opposing orders. It doesn't mean necessarily that the Admiral didn't switch sides at some point.
I can neither confirm nor deny your own opinions about what information you have.
What? Yes, you
You were
can.
corrected
Is
with-
that...
You
what we
correctly
were
summarized. You know that the Admiral and Laurel were put in charge of shutting down the
Destroying the
project.
project.
Yes.
And we also know that Darth Areco is allied with the project.
So
At least
that
in,
must,
yeah, in some form. Yeah.
that must mean at some point Admiral Vera switched sides.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to clarify because. Okay.
Well, as we do know, Admiral Varys, does that name sound familiar to you?
No, I wasn't told the name. It was just the Admiral and Areco.
Well, maybe it's a different Admiral then, because as far as I know, the only Admiral I know was tasked by Darth Areco to shut down this project. There's also a Darth Laurel. Darth Laurel. You know anything about her?
It's not a name I've heard.
So why are you tracking Areco exactly?
I'm not tracking Areco, I'm tracking my brother. He came to this planet.
Oh, I see.
But
Why did he come on this planet?
that he hasn't told me. He has
They
questionable.
told him, would you be tracking his phone?
We have a force bond. I can track him through the force. He and I can always feel each other's presence. We can communicate telepathically the way Jaraht and I do.
So why do we think Darth Areco is here?
He told me he's here.
Oh, I see. So is he a Sith?
That's in flux.
It's to be debated.
I'm not sure he exactly knows what he
To rescue him from the dark side, that's what you're
Well,
Yes.
yes. He's
I think it's a very simple question. Does he serve the Sith, or what? What?
It's not that simple. He claims not to serve them, but I also know that he has his own interests. He told me recently that he wants to destroy Areco's research and stop him from whatever he's doing. He said it's dangerous for everybody.
But that's what we wanted him to.
Well, yes, but also he also claims that his master was killed by them or died. He wasn't really very specific on details. But there's a slight problem. On Areco's side, they believe he's one of their chief lieutenants. He said that the reason we escaped, that you were able to rescue me, was because he was the one who led the Sith away. He's keeping them from finding us. So he claims.
Why is that a problem? That sounds like a great, very useful thing.
Because I don't know if my brother's telling the truth. He also has proven on a couple of occasions that he has an interest in luring me to the dark side with him.
Well, if he wanted to capture you, it sounded like it would have been easy.
Unless he has his own plans and agenda apart from them. I want to believe that he's telling the truth about Darth Areco. It seems with what you've told me that that's probably true. I also just want you all to be aware he probably has his own motivations for doing it. And it's not out of some, sense of good from the Jedi or some sense of balance from the Liaxalim. He wasn't taught by either orders. He was seduced at an early age, and I haven't seen him since I was 12. Not in a consistent capacity. I see him here and there when Jaraht and I chase him from planet to planet. We meet him a couple of times. Usually it's a quick, "Will you join me? No! Oh, darn!" And then he runs away. That's usually how we see him.
It sounds to me like he's
Do you have
really...
any clue what he wants aside from getting you to join him?
You both talked at the same time.
You may go first.
It sounds to me like he's working for the powers of chaos.
Well, it's not inaccurate. No, he does like chaos. Kind of my special gift was stealth and hiding from chaos. His was creating it, and Jaraht's was cleaning up. We worked really well as a trio.
So do you have any idea what his motivations are? Aside from getting you to join him?
One more time?
Do you have any idea what his motivations are aside from getting you to join him?
He fought with Revan in the Mandalorian Wars. I think there's a part of him that thinks he's doing what's right. He didn't follow Revan into the unknown regions afterwards, and he says that Revan's changed since then. But
that's not what that meant.
What?
Well, he didn't fight with Revan.
How would Ariel know?
Wars.
Ariel's assuming.
Because time period scale, that just doesn't work. Like, time-wise.
It was only like 3 or 4 years
fought
ago.
with the Republic and the Jedi. Like, I don't think that...
It was only 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, the whole thing with Revan was just a few years ago. If I remember.
As Kyrath furiously pulls up data sheets to figure out if that actually makes sense or not. I didn't consult
my character backstory to see. Yeah, the Mandalorian War ended in 3960 BBY. And now it's...
Have we broken reality?
So the Mandalorian Wars ended 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you and but Revan was still like the Jedi and the Republic, and you know that. Well, you don't know that. Aaron
I don't know. I'm
involved in
assuming.
that,
He
yeah.
said that Revan's changed. Ariel's assuming he knew him back then. He somehow apparently knows Revan, and he knows that Revan's changed. I don't know. His motivations are clouded to me. Sometimes he appears to be helpful, and other times he's stubborn. And I can't really explain why, but this time I do think my brother's telling the truth. I think he does want to stop Dr. Recco. And then far as that endeavor, I think we can trust him.
What does he know about us?
I haven't told him anything. He just knows that I'm here, and Jaraht's here. He was confused about how fast Jaraht was able to arrive. I didn't tell him, though, that was because Jaraht was already on his way. That I haven't told him that there was anyone with us. He probably assumes that there's people with us, with me, but I haven't given him details or specifics.
You shouldn't share any more details or specifics with him either.
Well, I'm not going to. If he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me, and I'll get as much information as I can from him. But he doesn't need to know anything that isn't necessary for what our plans are, whatever that would be.
So what does he think the plan should be between you and him to stop the record?
He didn't say. He didn't get a chance to. He more just wanted to see if I'm on board with helping him. He said that if I don't help him, he'll go to Revan and hope he will help him. Which my gut tells me would be a bad decision.
Yeah, I think that we should help him not Revan.
That's a terrible idea.
Well, our goal here is to stop the Recco.
Aaron is a wild card. We shouldn't attempt to enlist his help in our mission at all.
I
mean, that's kind of how I'm leaning. I'm just trying to navigate the situation of keeping him at arm's length, but also being able to put him in a spot where Jaraht and I can get a hold of him. Even if that's knocking him out and, like, the next time I see him and hauling him back to the ship and tying him up. I just want him to be safe and out of play.
Well, the next Sith patrol we come across, we should just confiscate their neural inhibitors.
Neural inhibitors? They have those?
Yeah, Theodore got hit by one and I had to treat him so he didn't fall unconscious, so it would be useful to use on your brother.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Problem with that is it might cause me some issues, but as long as it was temporary, we'd be fine.
It's a very interesting drug because it wears off once you're unconscious. It's metabolized quickly. So it doesn't cause any lasting side effects.
I'm just not certain. I've been able to feel pain when he's in pain. Our connection is pretty... It's very
It
close.
didn't hurt that much.
It's... You're not a Jedi, it's different.
The Jedi wins.
Why is he here, exactly?
He's providing encouragement and support by the game.
Well, the crucial support he's provided thus far is attracting the attention of snakes and attacking things without plan. So, I'm a little at a loss here. No offense, Theodore. Please try not to take offense. I direct this also to your Sith companions, although they seem like the taxi drivers of this endeavor. I'm just confused as to why more than just...
Right, chimes in. Hey, we're not here. We're not. Well, I mean, we're here indirect. We're here to see if we can fix Takaya. That's why
Do you
we're.
know what a Tarantatech is?
Yeah, it's a Sith creature.
I didn't actually witness it, but apparently Theodore tore one apart with his bare hands.
Okay, that's useful. I think that answers my question.
I can confirm he did take it apart
He also did
single-handedly.
the same with one of those bugs.
Okay.
Unconscious.
This team is fantastic. We've really assembled the commandos for this one, guys.
Right, chimes in. Wait, so what was the status on that snake thing? Exactly.
We can't see it in the forest.
Oh, that's great. So, like, that's not everything, but it's not that. But I can feel like that's not everything on the planet.
No, apparently there's a select couple of creatures.
Yes.
It's at least two.
You said that. Wait, this Darth Recco can create Force clones, and not everything. I've never been on a planet with an abundant. One creature that can get out of the Force. Force, I think is coincidence, but two.
It feels like this planet
Maybe
was
there's more.
designed.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
they were trying to
probably...
do research to grant people force sensitivity, but I guess it's possible they found out how to do the opposite.
Well, if you can grant it,
Because the
then
two
taking it
creatures
away
we've
would be
seen
good
that's
as well.
that's devoid of force are monstrous creatures that would be a heck of a problem if you were a Jedi to encounter.
Yeah. Okay. If before you say we should go take out a snake with the ship, I'm gonna
No.
say no. I prefer my ship in one piece.
No one's suggesting
Your ship
that.
could be defeated by a snake that can't even fly.
Something like 45
Well, we don't know if it can't breathe fire or something.
Sensor that can scan for those bug creatures. If we had a biological sample from a snake, I could also build a sensor that could scan.
We can't get samples of every possible creature. There's a snake creature and a bug creature. There could be other creatures we can't sense in the Force, which means we're at a disadvantage because half of us use the Force as our primary sensing abilities. And not to mention, if the source... Again, we need genetic material of the things we know of. Two, if my assumption's correct and these creatures were created by this Sith dude, chances are his fortress ship, the Chimera, whatever, is gonna have those creatures within it as well. I mean, if I was a super evil Sith dude and I could surround my vessel with non-force sensitive creatures that Mira Luca can't even see in the force, I'd like create a moat of those creatures around my base because they're basically, Jedi proofs it.
Yeah, and if
Echo has control over these.
Wait, guys, hang on. Bazak was talking first. Let Bazak go.
If he really was creating those creatures, then he has samples. And you can get all of them there. But I don't think that affects the mission at all in any way. You don't have a lab or time. Do all your weird sciencey stuff.
I could ask Aaron. I could ask Aaron to see if he knows anything.
Also, remind you have any advice on trying to get Aaron instead of being a Sith?
His aura is sort of neutral, going dark, so he's at a tipping point at this point. Look, like I said, even if we just take my brother off the map so that he's not a variable in this, I'd be fine. I just don't want to do anything that risks his safety. But I also know
if he's at all useful to us, see if you can get the coordinates to the base from him.
I'm sure he'd get us whatever we wanted as long as I got his goal.
Well, I can be pretty persuasive, so maybe I can convince him to see the side of the property.
If you want to meet Aaron, I don't have a problem with that. I just think we need to isolate. Because he made it evident.
Right now.
I can. It runs the risk of being detected, though, because we have to use the Force covertly. Our Force bond is pretty knit, but I can't let anyone in to the communication while we're talking. Otherwise, it risks detection. It works the same way with Jaraht.
Can you just get coordinates from him?
Can what?
Can you get coordinates from him through that?
I can probably get him to meet me, and then you guys can ask me whatever questions you want. I'll keep the comm link on, and then he can talk to me, and you can hear what he says through that. Shialu, if you want to come with me, I don't have a problem with that. It just means that he'll know you exist and are helping me.
I think that seems like a risk we could take.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not volunteering. I don't know. This biological sample nonsense seems like a non-plus item. What we need to do is the only benefit this game does is if we know he can manipulate the biological essence of creatures that already exist, then we have an idea of how powerful he is and what my brother means by the research is very dangerous and a threat to everyone.
Well, it seems to me the best thing to do would just be to get the coordinates to the base out of him and then not interact with him anymore.
Well, we know where the base is. It's clearly the Chimera, the ship over there. What we need to figure out is how to best infiltrate it, get the research, and kill Ereco.
Well, we definitely need Aaron's help to confirm that Ereco is on board the ship at the moment we attack, not that he's somewhere else.
How big of a ship is it?
I don't know,
Where my chimes in. It's a medical frigate, so not huge, but not tiny. It's got a lot of, bays for, ostensibly for wounded, but, I can't really tell what's going on the inside of it.
As far as infiltrating the ship goes, is there any reason we can't use the same technique, whatever it was that the strike team that I was on in the last mission did. That seemed to be successful.
What was the last technique?
We didn't discuss it. It was just how I ended up in the Obsidian Tower. I infiltrated this Sith ship with a team to steal information or something, and I got captured.
I mean,
Right.
Dell and I were able to infiltrate a Sith base also by hiding under the coattails of a Sith ship, and then we pretended to be Sith when we got there. That worked out pretty well, amazingly well, actually. We even got the Sith troopers to kill their masters. That was pretty great. But I'm not sure that would work twice.
You look over Armai, you just like see him staring at Takaya like.
Takaya just shakes her head like, "Are you really surprised with this group?"
Wait, sorry, Theodore. What did you say? What about the ship?
Is it our primary goal to destroy that ship?
Yeah, but how?
What exactly was it we're here to do again?
I mean, Theodore, I'm getting the idea that you think big with like big explosions. Now that might work. If we can like take out the reactor and nobody knows about it, and everybody stays on board the ship while it's destroying. But I'm gonna assume that if this, like a reactor blow or whatever it would take to destroy the ship, would take time enough for someone powerful like Areko to escape. Now this isn't very Jedi of me, but I would say our best bet to make sure. Sorry, my low constitution. I think I caught a cold. But I think our best bet, in order to make sure Areko doesn't survive this, is to essentially assassinate him and then destroy his research. Whatever happens after
so
that.
Our primary goal is assassination.
Well, I don't think that Areko is the person who actually knows how to do this. He's just overseeing it. So we don't actually have to kill him. We just have to destroy all the research and the facilities. And make sure.
Are we forgetting a certain other objective that we have here?
Kill Areko, destroy the research, save Aaron. Now, what objective am I missing?
The only thing I'm thinking about is destroying the clones.
Ramai is just like pointing at Takaya.
Find the scientist,
Yes.
Oh, right.
do the research, and
Healing
liberate
Decay,
them
yes.
from Areko's clutches and bring them back with us. Then they won't be able to do the research, and he can cure Takaya.
Okay, the last time I tried to... Shiloh, I understand. The last time I tried to argue the capture governor and bring him back, that didn't end so well, and I ended up killing him anyway. So...
Look, we don't have to. We don't have to capture it. Shiloh, you can understand the research if we get in there. Right? You said you could do it. You said you could fix. You said if you got to the place where they did the research, you could fix Takaya. That is what you said. That's why we're here. Are you reneging on your? I can totally do this.
Easier if the head scientist who was doing the work was alive.
And it would also be easier if he wasn't a super evil master of the dark side. But, we're not operating in wish fulfillment land.
Well,
And there's also a very simple answer. But the eraser typically has me do is data retrieval. I can just grab the data and he can crack it later.
that would be helpful.
How about this? We go in with the operation of we're killing him, but if an opportunity that doesn't totally risk our original plan to capture him, then we go with that.
I mean, if on the way out we can get into the labs, I just gotta plug this thing in and it'll do the rest.
Alright then.
Guys, my sensor is detecting incoming bug creatures. So you may want to put another illusion around the ship or do something.
No, my illusion's still up. I check and double check. I've been concentrating on it. It's still up, right?
Yeah, it's still up.
No, we still look like a rock.
So I have a question. If if the force doesn't affect them, then if your illusion is a force thing, then can they see your illusion?
I think so. The bugs seem to be attacking it.
How many do you detect?
I look at my center.
Right. So you see, kind of like in the direction of the woods, like little beep. You hear like in your earpiece, like beep, 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 beep. And there's like 25 of these things like coming in your general section, kind of moving a little methodically. Like
how close are they? How fast will they be here?
They'll be here in very short. They're basically to the edge of the trees at this point.
Alright, I think we should take off.
Beep 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 beep. As you hear this beeping, and you see the dots coming closer, this is where we're going to end
Maybe we
tonight.
should get on the weapons and take off.
As these creatures are coming towards the ship.
See, you guys thought my invention wasn't needed. This sounds very good thing I made this.
We'll end,
I'm just worried that
tonight
this means that they're attracted to force, that they're a force void and they're attracted to the force, and so me creating illusion might be a massive magnet to them, whereas it was supposed to keep them away.
I'm gonna go look and see if there are any giant snakes in the grass. Yeah, I'll be right
Either
back.
way, thank you for joining us, guys. We've got a lot to think about, a lot to theorize about, and a lot of plot to unpack. Thank you for joining us.